So over the weekend, you and your partner were talking about something, your mom asked you something and you blew up, you know, you got triggered. There's tension in the air, you could feel it, it's palpable. Together you come to the kitchen and you make Korean pancakes, jeon. Today we're making a special kind. What we making?
It's called Bindaetteok.
When you're cooking the bindaetteok, there's gonna be tension in the air. You know, there's gonna be a little
Oh.
pushing. But at the very end, when you go to taste it, what are you gonna say?
맛있다!
First things first, this is mung bean sprouts. I always know mung bean sprouts because it has like a beak, like a pelican, not to be confused with soybean sprouts. And from these mung bean sprouts, we call this nokdu in Korean. These are mung beans that have been dried and peeled. This is going to be the base ingredients.
At the market, they usually sell them partially peeled.
For our recipe, I want you to get 1 full cup of these dried nokdu in, and then just fill this up with cold water and leave it soaking overnight. Next morning,
Ta-da!
exactly, you get tara. They get twice as big. So if you did 1 cup of dried nokdu, you'll end up with 2 cups of bloated nokdu. So Katie, let's take this over to the sink. And then if you gently toss the beans around with your hand, the peel will come off. One trick I like to do, just put the beans between your hands like you're washing your hands, and it comes up much easier. Repeat this like 8 or 10 times and you'll get most of them off. Try your best to get as much. If you want to save time, look at the package. Some of the nokdu, the dry nokdu, come like yellow, which means their peel has been 100% taken off. The organic ones, they usually leave some love behind. We need some rice. We're gonna mix this rice. I'll show you where we use it later, but shh, just follow. 2 tablespoons of rice, and then number 2. Like I said, just put this to the side and we'll come back to it. So at the Korean mart, they'll sell this soaked firm break. In Korean, we call it gozari. So these are ready to go, ready for use. If you buy the dried ones, you have to soak it in water, just like our nokdu, and then you have to boil it once so that it gets soft enough to use in this pancake. All right, so we need around 150 grams. Oh, by the way, for all these ingredients, make sure you squeeze the water out. Hey, Katie, we need your big hands on this.
I think you have a bigger hand than you. This feels like releasing my stress from you.
Yes, that's why there's not much coming out.
Cut them into 1-inch pieces, like this.
Yeah, it looks like carnitas. I'm gonna have to work out on some carnitas tacos recipe using gozari. Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. And then the next ingredient, we have bean sprouts. Mung bean sprouts, right? I showed you earlier.
Just eyeball it.
We're gonna do 1 cup of kimchi. Kimchi is gonna give our bindaetteok that orange kind of tint. Bite-sized pieces. This is filled with water, so we need to squeeze the water out or else it's gonna release into our nokdu paste and just make it runny. Oh, and be careful. It squirts everywhere. All right, squeeze kimchi. Good job. 200 grams of pork. You can use beef as well if you like. We're using a thin shabu shabu cut, but also you can just go with minced pork. Here, minced pork works just fine. Just bite-sized pieces. Scallions or green onions or spring onions, just any type. I'm using 2 or 3 stalks, and then just chop them up.
Some lovely red.
We're gonna put this right on top of the pancake so it just looks more appetizing. For seasoning, we're gonna do half a tablespoon of salt.
4 or 5 shakes of pepper and sprinkle some sesame seeds. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil.
Bring everything together. By this time, you'll probably still might be fighting with your...
Daniel, stop spilling it.
Exactly. Doesn't it smell wonderful?
Oh, yeah, it does.
And that right there is the filling for our pancake. All we gotta do is spread some of that nokdu love all over it, and that's ready to go, y'all.
What is nokdu love?
It's the only love I know. Remember that rice from the beginning? Let's empty out the water. We'll add it to our nokdu mix, just so that it gets thoroughly mixed in there. Alright guys, and now empty this water out. And there's a reason I put it in the strainer first, is so that we can get the water measurement just right. Alright, so follow along. Key thing here is don't add too much, or else the mixture is going to turn watery. 3/4 cups of water. This is 1/2 cup, and then another 1/4 cup. It's kind of like a protein shake. A little bit clumpy. That's what we're looking for. Beautiful. Smother it. Just get in there and mix it together. Oh yeah. And now you see, since we squeezed the water out of the kimchi and virtually everything, it clumps up very well. Medium heat, guys. And always, what you guys gotta know, the first one that you make, what happens?
It comes out ugly.
Like an ugly duckling. So don't be discouraged if you mess up on the first one. Vegetable oil, not olive oil. Actually, you want to use a lot for pancakes. Alright, and once your frying pan is hot,
Hot diggity dog.
hot diggity dog. Get 1 spoonful,
Wow.
put it down. Mash it down a little bit, but not too much, into a nice circle. You can add a little bit more, perhaps.
Flatten it out.
Flatten out. We don't want to get it too big or else it's hard to flip without breaking it. So something like that. And then we're going to just leave it so that it has enough time to cook and lift up off the frying pan, the bottom. And then after about 1 minute, gently slide a spatula underneath so that, you know, and then you can move it around. Just like a steak, when you cook it, you can see the browning coming up the side of the steak. Here, you can see a little bit of the browning come up as well. And now I think this is good.
Wow. Great job, Daniel. Look at the browning. This is what we're looking for.
Don't touch it while it lifts on off the bottom. Alright, this looks like the one from 관장시장, huh?
We don't need to go to 광장시장.
Yeah.
We have it at home.
You can go underneath. Alright.
Oh, bravo!
And then Katie,
Yes.
can you drop 2 red stilettos here? Beautiful. Beautiful. And beautiful. Again, what was the key lesson here?
Don't touch it. Just let it be.
Let it be. As John Elton, 뭐지? Push that around, get the oil. Mix a little bit of soy sauce. A few drops of vinegar. 1, 2. Bless us with some onions.
Onions.
Very good. And then some red and green chili peppers. Beautiful, beautiful.
Let's eat.
This on the side here.
Wow, bravo.
And of course, we're Korean. We get a little bit of extra kimchi on the side.
Oh my gosh, can I have the first piece?
Yes, of course. Wait.
Little bit of that,
Another
little bit of this,
Yeah.
little bit of that. I shouldn't break the middle, right?
Look at all that firm break.
And the onions and the sukju. I love eating the edge because
Wow.
they're the most crispy
Are
part.
you gonna do a slam dunk in the sauce?
Wow.
What do you think, Katie?
Daniel, I'll give you a bite.